the RSR Board Chair, Ms Ekeke. Thank you so much for joining me again. Last time I saw you was at SARA, and here we are.
In this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful environment, you know. It took a lot of planning, a lot of effort for the team, but we appreciate that you are here today. You know, our very first day of the conference. It's all about rail renaissance. You know, our CEO normally says, out with the old, in with the new. And that's exactly what it is. There's so much that is going on within the rail industry in South Africa, and we need to start thinking towards creative ways of making sure that we keep the rail going. Earlier on, you mentioned something about freight. If you look at our road infrastructure, it's bearing a lot of weight because of the freight that is on the road. So we need to step up as rail and bring that freight back into rail where it belongs. You know. So this conference is actually a good starting point to bring everyone together, come up with ideas, talk about issues of technology, because technology is still a huge issue. I'm sure when you went to InnoTrans, you have seen all the different technologies. Amazing, all the different technologies that are still out there. Look, we have to be honest as well in terms of the challenges that we're still facing. You know, it's not all hunky-dory, good and everything else. There's still a lot of challenges, but the good thing is, for the first time, we are talking to each other. In the past few years, there were all these developments. This committee has been established. This one is at the presidency. This one is where. But people were not talking to each other. So that created a whole lot of gaps in terms of implementation of the regulation, in terms of making sure that, for instance, we are custodians of safety. So for us, we always have to ensure that safety is given a priority. What happened in Mpumalanga, for instance, earlier this year, where there was a level crossing accident, about 10 or so children died, that is unacceptable. The good thing is that we are beginning to look at our challenges and say, how can you help? This is what I'm bringing on the table. How do you think we can do this? So it's no longer a situation of silos.
So I think the synergy will actually even get more pronounced or better now, because we have the same mother and father now.
That situation of having other entities in another department was actually creating a challenge. For instance, if you have a strategic planning session this side in this department, that department is doing something else, you know, so it creates logistics dynamics.
So for those of you who are wondering why we're talking about one roof and same mothers and fathers, it's because if you didn't know, Transnet is now part of the Department of Transport, where previously it was with the Department of Public Enterprise, which is no longer. So it's all in one, so it really does make coordination and planning a lot smoother, and I think it'll iron out some of the kinks.
It does, especially with the critical stage of accepting third-party operators.
Yes.
Because now we have to look at how these people are going to come and operate in our space. For us as a regulator, it's a very critical development because we issue out permits, as you know.
And you've got the safety bill that's coming through.
The safety bill that is coming through. Yeah. But the issue with the third party is that we are now not giving Transnet one permit. So when Transnet comes us to come and apply for the permit, they will say we're bringing 3 or 4 people that will operate in our network, but they also need permits. So those are dynamics that we need to handle. But we are ready as a regulator. We are ready. We've put our systems in place. We're looking at our organizational structure. The bill that you just mentioned comes with new prescripts in terms of safety critical grades. Now we're not only doing compliance of the safety critical grades, but we're also giving accreditation to service providers. That will be training train drivers, that will be training inspectors and all that, because that's what the new bill comes with. Hopefully the president will find his pen very soon and sign it.
I'm hoping so.
I don't know, it has been on his table for like forever. Yeah. So I'm sure he just can't find his pen, but I'm sure as soon as he does.
We're at the annual Rail Safety Conference. Not only is the venue fantastic, and we're in Cape Town, but it has been really well subscribed. I think you guys have done a fantastic job, and like all your sponsors.
We would like to really thank our sponsors, and because this year we had a lot of rail activities. We really appreciate that they came on board, you know, they kept to their promises, because this is a partnership. For us, it's important to divulge and impart that technical knowledge to our operators, but we need to do it with somebody. So I would really like to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors. We do not take their support for granted. We really, really appreciate it. As you can see from the program that we have, technical aspects, issues of technology, issues of signaling, issues of human factors, really such a technical area. And some of these things, we overlook them, you know. So at least this conference is giving the operators an opportunity to look at other issues, human factors, fatigue from the employees, how do you deal with that? We benchmark, we share notes and all that. Impact on women, I always have to talk about this, you will pardon me. The rail environment, the impact that it has on women. This morning you were there when the train driver lady was giving her presentation. We shouldn't be listening to those stories in this era.
No, and you're quite right. We should have moved on. And the MEC said the same thing. You know, we shouldn't be having the conversation 30 years later around gender transformation.
No, we shouldn't. We are supposed to have, these things are supposed to have been catered for, you know. But because we are in a technical sector, it's difficult sometimes to divert from the technical issues that have to be there, you know. It's about bottom line and getting things right and all that. So some of these softer things, or that's what people consider as softer, fall through the cracks, you know. But like I said earlier on, at least conversations are there now, you know. So, and I personally believe once there's a conversation, then chances are we have a solution. People start applying their mind to the issues. And that's what the conference is about.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for having the Railways Africa team. It's lovely to be here. And I'll be participating tomorrow on my favorite topic, open access. No, well, not so much open access, but more infrastructure manager.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it as well. One last thing, I just want to say something about our awards. First inaugural Rail Awards, and we've got 12 categories. We had very good feedback, about between 109 and 120 entrants. We have a team, a panel that is looking at the entries, you know, and trying to see who does what. And it's a very diverse team, and we are very confident that it's going to be an awesome event.
I'm looking forward to that. Thank you very much for joining me for this Coffee with the Editor.